What are the main diseases or emotional disturbs or psychological problems that could have a cure through past life therapy?
Phobias are the most easily treated. For example, if you were thrown off a castle wall in the 15th century and now you have a fear of heights, this will disappear when you remember the ancient lifetime because you know it was then, not now. So any phobia, fears, anxieties, depression, but also psychosomatic illnesses, pain, disease. There's a very interesting and important case, I think, in the new book, Same Soul, Many Bodies, about a very famous person in the United States who had severe back pain. She had it because of cancer and surgery, radiation, deterioration of the vertebrae, the spinal discs. 17 years, every day, severe pain. She had to take strong medicine that she wouldn't take during the day because she needed her mind clear, but she had to take it at night to sleep. When she remembered an ancient trauma 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and she had a healing in that life, she was a man, and she had a healing in that life. At that moment, in the current time, this happened in New York, her back pain disappeared. It was 3.5 years ago. She hasn't had one more day of pain. She stopped taking her medicine immediately. She was treated at Sloan Kettering Hospital, a famous cancer hospital in New York City. The x-rays are different. The bone is regenerating. The spinal discs are regenerating. And her hair, because she's in her early 60s, has been growing in gray, like mine, but even more. And she was having it colored. But now her hair started growing in black, as when she was younger, after this experience. It was so profound that it even changed the color of her hair. Her hair colorist thought she was cheating on him, that she was seeing someone else. But no. So it's used for physical symptoms, for pain, for helping the immune system, in addition to these psychological disturbances.
If you have all these benefits, why these techniques aren't more used? Do you think there is still a resistance in medical area?
There is. I train therapists from all over the world now, about 200 every year, to use past life regression and future progression in their practices. And they sell out every year. Not enough spaces for the people. So there's less resistance. But there is, because it's new. There was resistance to psychoanalysis for many, many years. There's always a resistance to new techniques because it's unfamiliar.
Who can command a regression section or a past life therapy? A person has to be a doctor, a psychiatrist, in your opinion?
Well, that's a very interesting and complicated question. Because, for example, in Brazil, many people who are not therapists are doing this work too, and they may be excellent. I don't know them. But I prefer that people who do this are trained as therapists. Does not have to be a psychiatrist, can be psychologist, or in the United States we have other designations of therapists, but it's usually 2 or 3 years of postgraduate training in therapy. For example, social workers or marriage and family therapists or mental health therapists, and that's okay too. But that way you can deal with the material that comes up. It may be very emotionally charged. People may have lots of important emotions, and the therapist is already trained how to integrate this, how to analyze, how to interpret. So I think that it's better to have training as a therapist. You'll do a more complete job. But I understand that many people who are not therapists are doing this work also.
And this can be dangerous.
It's not dangerous, except if the therapist keeps pushing, because the untrained therapist. The subconscious mind of the person is very protective. It won't let things come up that are going to cause too much anxiety or stress. It won't happen. But if you're in normal psychotherapy, you have emotional memories. This is part of the therapy. We want that. It's called catharsis or abreaction. And so the untrained therapist may not know what to do with that. And it can be not dangerous, but the person may leave with stress and then have to go see a therapist. So why not go to the therapist in the first place if you want a past life regression or a future progression?
So is it safe to be hypnotized?
Yes, hypnosis is very safe because hypnosis is just relaxed, focused concentration. When you're reading a good book and you don't hear the traffic noises around you, that's hypnosis. It's focused concentration in the relaxed state. You can open your eyes at any time. You can end it at any time. You're always in control. If you're at the movies and you don't hear the people eating popcorn next to you, that's hypnosis, a light state. So I take them deeper, but they can end it at any time.
But can anyone be hypnotized and go to past lives, or there is a percentage that will never get this?
There's a percentage that will never be hypnotized, about 15%. They cannot concentrate, or they have Alzheimer's or dementia or
Why?
psychosis because of these illnesses. Or some people are afraid. They're afraid, I'm giving up control to the therapist. They're not. You never give up control. It's just concentration. So they may block it mentally. But I can tell you that about 85% of people can be hypnotized. Of that group, 2/3 of people in general have past life memories, can have past life memories. So that's a lot of people. As I travel through Brazil, sometimes in the past I've done workshops. 2/3 of the people in the audience have past life memories. You know, the belief in reincarnation in Brazil is different from in the United States. In the United States, in a Gallup survey, about 1/3 of people believe in reincarnation in past lives. But in Porto Alegre one time, I was in Rio Grande do Sul, and we did a survey of the entire state. And in Rio Grande do Sul, 2/3 of people believe in past lives, the opposite of the United States. So I know Brazil, because it's so spiritual, is very open-minded to these concepts.
How can meditation help this process? Someone can go through a past life by himself?
Yes, you do not need to have hypnosis. People have it all the time through meditation, which is a similar technique. And this is used a lot in India and countries in the East.
The Buddhists?
Yes, Buddhists and Hindus, they remember past lives through meditation.
I read in your website that you are not accepting patients at this time. Is it true? Why?
Yes, it's true, because the waiting list for me is 5,000 people. So I'm never going to see that many people in this life. So I can't, it's too much. So there's no sense of accepting new patients because the waiting list will never be short enough in this life. So I've decided to train for two reasons. One, because not everybody can see me. Two, I can teach other people to do these techniques. It's not so difficult. I don't do anything that's magical or special.
What can you describe? What are your main techniques, or how it works?
I put people into the deep state, like hypnosis. I can do that very quickly or over a longer period of time. People then go into this deep state. The memory is enhanced. They're not sleeping. They're just in this very deep state of relaxation. And then I take them back in time. I say, I'm going to count backwards from 5 to 1. Then you will go to your childhood. And they will. They'll have memories. Or in utero, in the